Evening, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Music Den. I am, of course, your host, Armando Venditti, and it is almost 10 p.m. here, Mountain Time, on the Monday evening. I wanted to do this quick video because I have just watched a documentary on Netflix, and I wanted to give you a review of it and let you know that it does exist. It is a music documentary on the pop duo Wham. We all know who Wham are: George Michael, Andrew Ridgeley, school friends who formed a power pop duo in the early 80s. They started out as friends in school, and they quickly formed a band in 1979 called The Executive, and from there formed Wham. The documentary is directed by Chris Smith. It's pretty brand new. It just came out, I believe, last week, and it's quite good, actually. It's very heartwarming, very emotional. It details the formation of the duo and the rise to superstardom. It's done in the format of voice overdubs from George Michael and from Andrew Ridgeley. There aren't any current or recent interviews done with Andrew Ridgeley. It's all done by voiceover. Andrew Ridgeley did obviously contribute interviews to be done for the documentary, but all the footage is put together using archival footage. And to be quite honest with you, it is quite emotional. It is very heartfelt. Um, I mean, you can say what you want about Wham as a teeny bopper pop duo, but there is no denying that George Michael, as a pop songwriter, had the ability to deliver strong melodic pop music. I mean, he was a writer, an arranger, a producer, a musician. He played keyboards. He played some guitar. He did play bass. He was a bass player. A lot of people don't know that he did provide bass tracks for his stuff, for his music. And again, his ability to craft a pop tune is amazing. Okay. The documentary talks about how they signed their first record deal with a small label called Intervision in the UK, and the pitfalls of that association, not getting enough of the royalties that they deserved for the amount of records they were selling. And they quickly got new management and signed a worldwide distribution deal and record deal with Sony Music, CBS. And they released their debut album, Fantastic, and slowly started to accumulate the hits. It wasn't until their third single release, Club Tropicana, that you could tell that melodically George Michael had the ability to write a catchy pop tune. And it was quickly discussed and decided that George Michael would do the majority or the main songwriting for the duo, because even Andrew Ridgeley has said in the documentary that his songwriting ability was not as advanced as George Michael was. And he acquiesced to the fact that George Michael would be the main songwriter for the duo. I mean it, and it's got to be said too. He didn't like it at times. He got tired of being considered the joke of the duo. But he also realized that George Michael had the ability to write fantastic pop tunes. And as quickly as they came on the scene, they quickly left the scene. The story talks about, the documentary story talks about the decision to put Wham to bed in the mid 80s. By around 1985, they realized that there was really nowhere else to go because they achieved success so quickly. And Wham weren't meant to be around for 10 or 20 years. They were only meant to be around for about maybe 3 or 4 years at the most. And this documentary discusses that and discusses the fact, that they were able to keep their friendship intact, even though the band or the group were over. It clocks in at around 90 minutes. It's a fantastic look at the duo and how they recorded their music and how they achieved the success and how they kept their heads level about it. And of course, George Michael was dealing with internal demons about coming to grips with his own sexuality and being in the public eye, which isn't easy. So if you really want to take some time out and just watch a beautiful story about friendship and understanding and acceptance, please check out this documentary. You won't be disappointed. Okay. And again, people are probably going to watch this and like, oh my God, Wham, like George Michael, like really, Armando? Like, you know what, guys? Music is music. And as I said before, I was going to be covering different genres on this channel. And George Michael, in my very humble opinion, was one of the best pop songwriters of the 20th century. Okay. I put him up there with Freddie Mercury, with Elton John. So please do yourselves a favor, take the time, check out this documentary. It's just called Wham! Exclamation point, and on Netflix, and you won't be disappointed. I promise you that. Okay. So that's it for now. Hope you guys are having a good night. Please look after yourselves and one another. And I will see you soon with another video. Have a good night.